Good morning. Um, I got up really early this morning. Went to bed kind of early, like 7:30 or 8. Woke up at 1 a.m. Have gotten a lot of stuff done this morning. So I was kind of cruising through Facebook, seeing what was happening there, and I saw a video on how to make your own deodorant. Now, deodorant's always been kind of a special subject for me because I've heard and I understand that most deodorants have some kind of aluminum or aluminum derivative in them. And aluminum is bad for mental cognitive skills and abilities because it accumulates in the brain and in I guess neural matter. So I'm always looking for a good alternative to deodorant. No, store-bought deodorant. It's not just deodorant in general. I don't want to stink. I don't necessarily like going around smelling like chorizo. So I found a little video on how to make your own deodorant. It was very simple, and I happen to have all the ingredients, so I'm going to make it this morning, and you can see how it turns out. You can do it with me and see how it turns out. So let me show you the ingredients. I'll turn this around. The ingredients are baking soda, cornstarch, coconut oil, and essential oils, your own favorite essential oil. In this case, I'm using frankincense and lavender. Those are my choices. We have a lot of choices here at the house, but these are the ones I'm using. So I'm just going to mix all of this up in a bowl, and I'll try to record it when I do it so you can see what's happening. Okay, so it's basically 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 2, 1. 3 tablespoons of the cornstarch, then 2 tablespoons of the baking soda, 2 tablespoons of the coconut oil, and then 1 tablespoon of the essential oil. So I'll do half and half. So, this sounds pretty simple, right? So you mix it all together in the bowl, then you refrigerate it for 5 minutes, and it's supposed to solidify to the point where you can then use your finger to just apply a little bit to your armpits. Right, so there's 2, what did I say? Oh, 3. 3 cornstarch. There's 3 cornstarch. Kind of sticks to the spoon there. All right, let me get 2 baking soda. It's not quite level, but I'll add a little more the next time. 1. That's a little under 2, so I'm going to get a little bit more. Make up for the lack. Okay, 2. So that's 3 cornstarch, 2 baking soda. Now let me get 2 tablespoons of the oil, coconut oil. Squirty, 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 squirt. 1. Squirty, squirty, squirt. 2. Okay. Now, let's see if I can get a tablespoon of essential oil. This is frankincense. Amazing stuff. You may have heard of it. So let me get about half of this tablespoon with frankincense. And these oils are very expensive too, so it might look like I'm wasting it, but I'm not. I'm actually going to use this deodorant, no matter how long it takes to use it up. Okay, that's about half frankincense. Let's get the other half in the lavender. These oils have many other applications and uses. My wife knows them better than me, and we do have a book we consult frequently to find out which oils and which combination of oils are good for to address certain things. Okay, I'm going to call this full enough. Put that in there. All right. I need going to stir this up. I think I'm just going to use the end of this to stir it. Make sure you can see it. Wow, if this works, that's going to be pretty cool. Hopefully I made a good choice of essential oils so that my personal fragrance won't be offensive to anyone or overpowering. It's looking pretty good. Stirs up pretty easy. Okay. It's got an interesting consistency. Looks like frosting. It's actually making me hungry for cinnamon rolls, which I will not eat right now because I'm trying to be more disciplined and choosy in what I eat and when I eat it so that I can drop a little weight and manage my weight. I'm not just trying to lose weight. I'm trying to manage my weight, which itself is a whole mindset. It's a whole making sure that you're disciplined enough to think properly about food, what it really is, what it's really needed for. Think properly about planning for your meals rather than just opening the fridge all the time and saying, you know, asking yourself, what's in here? Let me just see what's in there. I'm just going to grab whatever. No. Managing your weight is more about learning to think properly about food. So that's what I'm doing. This is actually only day 2 of this journey. But between day 1 and now, I have lost 3.5 pounds. I don't know what that's all about, or why that happened necessarily or exactly, but I like it. So we're going to keep going that direction. All right, I am going to put this in the refrigerator for 5 minutes, as the instructions stated. Let it solidify a little bit, and then see if I can't get a little bit on my finger and apply it and see what happens. All right, check back in a few minutes. Okay, it's been more than 5 minutes. It's been many minutes. I don't know if you can see this or not. Definitely did not solidify at all. And so I think the problem is, you know, the recipe didn't specifically say it. It just said coconut oil. But then it poured it in, so I assumed it must have been liquid coconut oil, like this is. But more than likely now, I'm guessing that they probably had coconut oil more along the lines of this, which is, in its room temperature state, quite solid. They probably had used this, melted it, and poured it in, but failed to tell me that. So what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to double my recipe and put this in it so I don't waste the oils that are already in it, and see if it'll solidify enough. But this time I'll use this stuff. See if I can get it to congeal a little better. Bummer, right? Because I thought, I wonder if there's a way I can just use it as is and just dab some of this in my pit. Maybe I can. Maybe. It'd be like glazing your pit, right? I guess I could glaze my pit with this. But I think I'll try my other plan first. Double this. Use the other coconut oil. And see if I can get this to congeal a little better. And I guess whatever the end result of that experiment is, I will use. Because I can't let it go to waste, right? All right. It's been more than 5 minutes. Way more. I wanted to do a little overkill. And here's what we got. Let's tip it and see if it moves. It's not really moving too much. Probably not, you know, it's definitely not as thick as it should have been had I used the correct oil the first time. But this may just be doable. Let me touch it. See what it feels like. Ooh. All right, it feels interesting. Parts of it are nice and, you know, greasy like oil should be, and then it kind of, it's like it's separated in the middle. The edges are solid, more solid than the middle. Now it's warming up just a little bit and getting softer and softer. So maybe I should just store this in the refrigerator, and when I want to use it, just go take a little swipe and glaze my pits. I'm going to try this today, and I will keep track of if there's any adverse effects, or if I like it or don't like it, or if it tickles or makes me itch or whatever, I'll let you know. Very cool. All right. All right, I've left the homemade deodorant, which I am dubbing Pit Glaze, because of its great close appearance to cinnamon roll glaze. I've put it in the refrigerator overnight. I left it there all night to see, if it would congeal more than I hoped or than it did before initially. So let's take a look. Let's see. Ooh. Looks good. Let's take it over to the light. Alright. Oh yeah, look at that. Nice and solid. And when you rub it with your finger, it melts just a little bit. To get a little bit on your finger that you can gently and lovingly glaze your pits with. I might be onto something here, folks. It smells good. So yeah, I'm gonna do a test by glazing my pits and going outside and doing some work and build up a sweat, and then see how I smell afterwards. All right, it's 5 a.m.-ish. Still dark out, and I'm about to trim the hedges with manual hedge trimmers to test my new deodorant, Pit Glaze. I'll let you know how it turns out. Okay, I just finished my work. I came outside, trimmed the hedges with manual hedge trimmers. Sneak a peek at that. Hope you can see. Yeah. So there's the work. I trimmed those two shrubberies, and you can see all these shrubbery material about on the ground. Okay, so I worked up a real good sweat, and now comes the test of my new Pit Glaze TM trademark. So let's see. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Frankincense, lavender, and just the slightest, faintest hint of chorizo. But it's actually all right. It's not that bad. Let's try the other. Maybe my pits are different. Yeah, about the same. I think it works, folks. And I know for a fact I have no aluminum on my skin that I may have absorbed that might contribute to some form of degenerative cognitive disease later in life. I may get the aluminum from some other source, but I didn't get it from my homemade deodorant, and that's awesome. All right, experiment successful. I recommend you try this, folks, but use the right coconut oil, unlike me. All right.